It's very rare for a piece of media to give me an experience that is like memorable. Most times when I kind of sit through something, I kind of go through the motions and it's kind of just done just like that. But sometimes in that vast ocean of content out there, there's things that stick out to me and stay in my memory for a long time to come. Outlast is one of those pieces. Never have I played something that made me feel so utterly helpless. Something that just, even in its intro, it lets you know off rip, the only options you have is run, hide, or die. Something is hunting you, and you just do not have the power to defend yourself, which I wanted to do, but I can't because the things that are chasing you are horrors from beyond this world. Outlast delivers that feeling of hopelessness, that feeling that there's nothing you can do in order to save yourself. But you always, just by the skin of your teeth, you always find a way to escape. That's exactly what Outlast delivers, and I'll just tell you about it in this video. I just played it yesterday. I'm still kind of thinking on it. Wrote some notes here in order to keep my thoughts together. We're gonna break this all down, the highs, the lows, and why this game is just so unique, unforgettable. Even after all these years, it still stands up to be one of the most horrifying games in gaming history. So why did I play it? So I saw this game back in, what was it, 2014-ish, I think. I saw Markiplier and the Rad Brad. I think I saw both of them play it. I was more of the Rad Brad fan, and I remember seeing him screaming in horror playing this game, and it was really impressive back in the day. I remember being so scared I did not make it through like the first or second episode, and every once in a while I would pop in and try to see a little bit more, which is why I remembered such specific things like Chris Walker and Dr. Traeger. I remembered what they were, but I didn't remember like what they did at all. I just remembered them. And that should let you know, after all these years, those images were just burnt into my mind to the point where I remember them clearly and vividly, although I may not have remembered the context surrounding them. So naturally, after all those years, I decided to go on in and play it now. And going into it, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. I thought it was going to be just another game. Because a lot of games back in the day kind of fall off, in my opinion, but not Outlast. Quality was up there, the atmosphere was up there, just a whole bunch of things. I don't think any of the other games I played are even remotely close to how scary this one is. But here, I'll set the tone a bit, right? In the beginning, the moment you pull up to Mount Massive, it already drops a whole lot of stuff in subtle ways. You pull up to the asylum and you're already given two pieces of important information. One, who you are as a character. You are Miles Upshur, a journalist, investigator. Split it down the middle, you're a journal investigator, going in to pop the lid off of big stories and expose it to the public. That's what you do. That's what your character's passion is. And you start the scene by pulling up to Mount Massive Asylum, and right there on your passenger seat is a document. You open it and it's from a whistleblower that gave you information in regards to this location and a company called Murkoff Corporation and all this. It's literally down the alley. It's all feeding to exactly what you are, and you're pretty much set up in a situation where you think it's pretty much going to be you going in and figuring out the truth. And it really switches up the control so quickly, because your guy is pretty much, this is what he does. He does this for a living. He knows what he's doing. He goes in there with full confidence, goes it and scales up the building, and then once he finally makes it through that first window, all control is lost. You are no longer in control. You're no longer investigating, because you're being taken in to this black hole. You're falling into this black hole and there's no way out. You don't even know it yet, but there's no way out. Something is watching you, and it is getting closer and closer and closer. I think the moment that really sets in everything is when you walk into that room with the guys on the spikes and he tells you, oh, you gotta go. And you're like, okay, time to go. And then Chris Walker pulls you and throws you down to the first floor. And that right there, that just sets the tension. Yeah, I'm not in control of the situation whatsoever. It's just time to go. Running. People are coming after me, trying to turn back on this power. Now I'm asleep. Now lights on, lights off. It's just chaos. That's where it all is. Chaos. This place that you thought was just going to be you popping the lid and investigating something. You're looking for something. That something is ending up looking for you. And it's, like the game says, a living hell on earth. The visuals, the audio, the gore, everything comes together to freak you out in every way. Before that beginning section especially, I don't think I've ever felt that kind of fear from a game before, ever, honestly. You're going in, lights off, hiding under the bed, heart is racing as the enemy walks inches away from you, inches away. The only way you can see them is with the night vision camera. Tension like that is hard to make. It's really hard to find. As I progressed through the story, as I progressed through the game, more questions were being asked. It wasn't just scare. It was also, well, what happened here? What is this document telling me? What is this gonna happen? So many questions popping up and them revealing some answers and making me ask like 10 more. It's like a combination of mystery and fear all coming together, and it's slowly but surely giving you the answer as to how in the world can something like this happen, you know? It's a slow reveal of the mystery behind the horror. And I think that's genius. I don't know. I like that a lot. As the game unfolded, it really just showed layer after layer after layer. You're getting deeper in, and it's, no matter what, even though you try to escape, like a black hole, you're falling deeper and deeper in, and by the end, it's already too late. You don't realize that you already passed the horizon line a long time ago. By the end of it, I wasn't sure if I was relieved it was over or sad that in the end I didn't really make it. That's how immersive it was. Now, instead of like a good, bad kind of thing, I'm just going to talk about things that stood out to me, like what really stood out to me over the course of the game. I think I already touched on things like atmosphere. That was crazy. The sound design was very intelligently used. You're in one side of the asylum where things are relatively peaceful, and you can hear the screams of somebody in the other side of the asylum screaming for bloody help, or screaming bloody murder, asking for help. And those kind of moments really get at you. Or when you're getting chased by Chris Walker so much that you begin to realize just who it is chasing you, who it is walking in this space with you, just by the sounds of their footsteps. I knew who Father Martin was. Like, I knew Father Martin was around because of his humming, his whistling, his walking, his light that he had with his flashlight. Those let me know, oh, Father Martin's nearby. When it's Chris Walker, you hear the chains walking around. You hear the chains, and that just lets you know, okay, time to hide, time to be careful because Chris is here. Those chains are synonymous with him. His breathing, you can hear him breathing. You can hear him mumbling to himself, piggy, things of that nature. Dr. Traeger, you could hear him playing with the scissors. It was really fun stuff with that. Those little things are amazing. And you know that something is going to happen because you hear the bass, you hear the, I think it's a violin, I don't know what you call that instrument. You hear a lot of things build up tension as you're about to go and do something. And it just gives an overwhelming feeling of dread and suspense. You're waiting for them to, almost waiting for them to do something. And sometimes they'll build all that up and just let it go and let you sit in the silence. And then that silence becomes the new suspense. You know, it's really interesting. But of course, at the end of the day, that's kind of a double-edged sword because it can also get rather repetitive. Some of the chaos felt repetitive after a while. I started to predict the jump scares, mostly specifically with Chris Walker. Chris Walker became annoying after a while, became a bit of a laughingstock because I could just tell okay, he's coming again. And because Chris Walker was chasing me so much, every time there was a scenario where there was somebody smaller, or even Dr. Traeger, I just didn't have respect for anybody else at all, because they just kept trying over and over and over again, and I could tell who they are immediately. I'm just, okay, I know how to play this game at this point, right? But overall, if I was to put this in a very simple way, if you love horror, Outlast is a must play. It is. It's intense, it's crazy, it's terrifying, and it's one of the most memorable, unique games I ever played. It'll make you think, especially if you are able to sit down for a moment and read those documents, which if you can, I'm proud of you. It's a rather interesting experience, and I'm proud of these folks for making it. It's really cool. Would I play it again? No. Hell no. That was just stress incarnate. I've experienced it now. But would I recommend it? Oh, hell yeah. I would definitely recommend it for a first time play. But only if you got the, how do I say this? The balls of steel? Is that the best way to put it? So, yeah, that was my review, I guess, my speak about Outlast. Just me putting out my thoughts on paper, basically, of talking about it. I'm planning on doing this for other video games I've played in the past. I just really want to try out a different kind of form of content. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more content like this, I'm planning to do a commentary kind of talk about Dying Light as well. Hopefully you guys are excited to see that too. Just let me know down in the comments. It's much shorter than I thought it would be, but I'm not Joseph Anderson making The Witcher 3. That hasn't come out yet, but I'm not him. Maybe one day, who knows. But with all that being said, see y'all in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed Outlast. If you guys watched me play it, hopefully if you didn't, hopefully you play it yourself as well. It's really cool, really fun, and see you guys in the next upload. Peace.